Hey Cinemaniacs, welcome to the Rated Awesome Awards, now every month. This is a way to highlight each of the movies I saw and have some surprises with it and some fun. I saw 12 movies this month of new releases, including 8 in theaters and 4 on streaming. And before I go any further, I want to let you know I did miss a few of them that are on my awesome top 20 watch list, which I do every month. And here are the ones I didn't get to watch yet, so they're not eligible for any category. Power Ballad, Jackass, Best and Last, the rom-coms Office Romance and Voicemails for Isabel, The Get Out, Carolina, Caroline, The Death of Robin Hood, Chum, Oh Horizon. So let's get to it. Hey Cinemaniacs, awesome action movie of the month goes to The Furious. You probably heard a lot of hype about this if you're into action at all, or combat, or martial arts, and all of it's true. It was a huge hit at some festivals. I heard through the grapevine that this is a big one to watch, and yes, this is one of the best martial arts movies of all time. I mean, it's almost wall-to-wall, amazing combat. Several guys, or one guy just going through a whole army of gangsters or gang members. It's similar to the plot of Taken, where a guy is looking for his daughter who got kidnapped, ropes in someone else with him to help him. So I felt the emotional pull for that because of, the kids in danger, but also just straight up the fighting was the best ever, maybe. They've been comparing it a lot to The Raid and Dredd, and I completely agree with that. The different styles of fighting was just really impressive to see how they pulled things off. The choreography and the cinematography to get the camera in between the punches and kicks is just superb. It's a lot thrown at you throughout the whole thing. Brutal, it's creative, it's exciting, it's thrilling. It's one you have to see on the big screen if you can. What I noticed most about the fighting is how different it is to other combat movies, including The Raid, where the protagonists are like entrenched with the people they're fighting. Like they're on top of them, they're stepping on them, they're underneath their legs, they're pulling them over. Of course, they're using a lot of different environmental factors as well, like ladders and stairs and anything they could throw at each other. It's something you really need to witness to understand how far it goes, how scrappy the action is. It's such an exciting spectacle. It's actually the winner of Awesome Movie of the month of June. The execution is so well done on every level, and definitely high up there for my awesome top 10 of the year. It's also the winner of Awesomely Surprising Movie of the month because I didn't expect it to love it as much as I did. I thought it would be really great fighting and exciting enough, but maybe that wouldn't sustain itself throughout the whole runtime, but it definitely did, and it left me wanting even more. Rated amazing. Hey Cinemaniacs, the awesome horror movie of the month was Leviticus.
Nothing can make it stop.
It was a bit of a slow burn, and I didn't love it, but there were some really good things in this, and it's definitely worth watching, especially if you're disenfranchised or you're part of the LGBT community. It's very much like a gay It Follows. Yes, that's been an easy comparison, but yeah, there's a lot of similarities to it. It was a little bit on the slow side for me, but the acting is really good from the two lead guys. It's a great premise. I kind of wish they went a little deeper into it. They did an excellent job of revealing things and hiding things to really add to the paranoia. Rated enjoyable.
Desire. It has to go now.
Hey Cinemaniacs, the awesome horror comedy of June was Scary Movie, or Scary Movie 6 as I like to refer to it.
We bad.
I understand why they dropped the 6 the same way as Scream 5 did. Followed the main plot of that movie as well as Scream 6, and then a whole smorgasbord of a lot of the horror movies of the past decade. And I actually thought it was pretty funny.
Should we hug?
I really want to, but I'm a Republican now, so I'm supposed to be racist.
Oh, girl, I think all white people are racist anyway. Come here.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of this whole franchise in general. I think it's hit or miss. I'm glad the Wayans brothers are back on this. I don't know what people were expecting to be much different because it's a lot of the same kind of humor. It's very sketch oriented though. It didn't really flow really well. It was a lot of just references to horror movies, a little joke here and there, some crass humor and playing on the characters and then moving on. Some added to the plot, some did not. But in general, a good time if you just turn your brain off, go with it, don't get too offended or anything. It's just silly. They could have got a lot harder with the political commentary or the social commentary, but they're kind of making fun of everybody, and that's the point of it. Rated enjoyable. Hey City Maniacs, awesome comedy of the month goes to Stop That Train.
Would you like me to help?
Look who it is. Some complete rando who can't stay in her seat.
Get out of here!
Starring a who's who of drag queens in its main cast. And even though I didn't know many of them besides RuPaul as Madam President, I still had a really good time. If you're a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, I think a lot of these drag queens are from that show or at least adjacent to that. It's over the top, it's silly. Yeah, a lot of it's kind of gay humor, but not exclusively and not explicitly. If you're a fan of parodies, spoof movies that are just balls to the wall, usually throw in lots of funny jokes and different iterations, straight up verbal jokes and visual jokes and prop jokes, real absurd comedy like Airplane or Naked Gun or Hot Shots, you'll probably have a good time with this one. Rated enjoyable.
Virtuous gay.
Oh, I load my Subaru with tools. I pay my ex Deb some vegan jerky to help me. We fixed that train in like 20 minutes.
Boy gay.
Girl.
Hey City Maniacs, awesome sci-fi movie of the month goes to Disclosure Day. I was excited when I heard about Steven Spielberg doing their action, adventure, sci-fi movie. I've been kind of cool on his past movies the last decade or so. Some of my favorite directors, but I do love those adventure type thrillers more than just the dramas. And this one, as a chase movie, was pretty exciting. Like you're on the run from the FBI or, you know, people trying to keep the alien conspiracy under wraps. How are they getting away with this? They have some pretty good set pieces for action. The acting's really good, especially by Emily Blunt, doing different accents and speaking different languages and being a vessel for the alien technology and their language. So much so that she's the winner of Awesome Actress of the Month for this performance.
Do not go back to the house. I don't know who you are, but they're gonna kill you.
You really feel the weight of the stakes because of Emily Blunt. She's one of my favorite actresses already and definitely one of her best performances. As you can see here on my Letterboxd ranking, a lot of those from different actors, directors, genres, franchises, you name it, it's there. Check it out, rated awesome. She's trying to figure out how to not get caught, how to deliver the information, having the maturity to understand what this means for all of humanity, how important it could be. There's also some cool sci-fi tech there and excellent score by John Williams, one of the last we might get ever, and it's always cool when he's teaming up with Steven Spielberg again. Also written by David Koepp, one of my favorite screenwriters, especially for thrillers. And because of the anticipation and the excitement, this is also a winner for Awesome Thriller of the Month. Unfortunately, I was disappointed in some ways because I thought the whole premise was gonna be like, well, how are people gonna react to learning from immutable proof? Will society collapse? Will religious people lose all their faith and hope in humanity? What will happen? Well, unfortunately, without giving too much spoilers, it's the run up to Disclosure Day, really is what it is. Disclosure Day Eve, I didn't get the impact, the aftermath I wanted, which I thought was the whole premise. Still worth watching, rated enjoyable. Hey City Maniacs, this is the category for Awesomely Surprising Movie of the Month, and I've got 4 nominees. Most of these are winners in their own categories. Andre is an Idiot. It took me about a week or so to watch it because of logistics, getting a lot of bad reviews, even from franchise fans, so I was surprised how much I really liked it, and I did laugh several times. It's also the winner of Awesomely Surprising Movie of the Month because I didn't expect it to love it as much as I did. Hey City Maniacs, this next category is Awesome Streaming Movie of the Month. And I'm one of these who doesn't discourage watching streaming movies. I think it's a different way of releasing a movie and watching a movie. And they're not always less than. Sometimes they can be. There's always some jewels you can find in the mud. Sometimes they dumb it down. Sometimes they're just decent movies, enjoyable times you can watch at home. The first nominee is Never Change! And this is on Hulu.
Party at my house tonight?
My parents just died. Everyone's gonna be there.
Oh my God, dude.
I love the premise of 30-somethings going back to high school for 2 weeks because of logistics not finishing their diploma. But the way they kind of forced in things like the prom and kind of just general rushed atmosphere, it didn't really gel with me all the times. Also, this is the over-the-top kind of spoof movie. The jokes kind of run a little long sometimes, but they're definitely absurd, more than you would think, and more than the trailer really gives away. And some of these recurring jokes weren't funny in the first place, and seeing them again was kind of annoying. Worth watching at least once, rated enjoyable.
The house is totally to ourselves, and we're gonna rage. Classic.
But the winner for Awesome Streaming Movie of the Month goes to Little Brother.
What happened to the guy I married who said the only thing that matters is family?
Almost burnt the entire house down. Can you imagine?
This is on Netflix and it stars John Cena as a very uptight, almost too unlikable realtor with ambition, and then Eric Andre as his little brother, as a program, not in blood, who kind of leans onto the relationship they had and has a false understanding of what they are now, and their odd couple dynamics butt heads a lot. And you get some of that heart, but you also get some of the raunch. And I thought generally it's a funny time. It's formulaic, it's predictable. I like seeing where the cast went with things. There's some pretty good jokes here and there. And I liked it more than most people did. Rated excellent. Hey Cinemaniacs! The awesome documentary of the month goes to actually 2 nominees. One I've talked about before in awesomely surprising movie of the month, which was Andre is an Idiot.
It's fascinating that I am dying. One way to deal with it is to make this
Netflix documentary that also hit the rounds on film festivals. And it's a story of an unknown guy that's just irreverent and funny and smart. He worked in advertising, but it's really just about his philosophies of coming to terms with having terminal cancer and leaving a legacy for being a lighthearted guy. A lot of interviews with himself and friends, wife and daughters, and the unique family dynamics. There's also some really excellent stop motion there, and just a memorable documentary in every way. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it's definitely one you should watch. Rated fantastic. And the actual winner of Awesome Documentary of the Month goes to Earth, Wind, and Fire. It has a little subtitle, which is a bit silly and long.
They were defining blackness on their own terms.
If you don't know about them, they're one of the seminal 70s funk, soul, very popular, legendary, innovative bands. Have their own kind of sound, and it goes through the origins and their influential impact, not just as a black band that made it big and mainstream, but also influenced so many different genres and people. And they have great songs. I've been a fan since I was a kid. They're from the 70s, and they had a little bit in the 80s as well, and they kind of disbanded from there. I learned a lot about the perfectionism of the main singer and like the force of the band, how he was kicking people out for not reaching goals, and he kept on striving for things, and they never really made a lot of money. It's one of the better musical documentaries I've seen in a long time. It's on HBO Max. Watch it if you can. It's also directed by Questlove, who did a bunch of other documentaries. Rated fantastic.
Michael Jackson. They were down there taking notes, man.
Hey, Cinemaniacs! Awesome animated movie of the month goes to Toy Story 5, of course.
Bonnie doesn't want to play with toys anymore. She needs me.
I love Pixar, and this is easily their best franchise. I actually love all 5 of the movies. You might be surprised by my ranking, as you can see right here. You can follow more of that on Letterboxd at Rated Awesome. The best part's the premise of tech kind of overriding the need for toys for kids. And there's a real problem that modern day kids actually run into. And the problems that come from that, being addicted to a device or always wanting to be on that. As parents, we have to deal with. And I have a young 5-year-old. I consistently don't let her be on iPads or watch screens all day. I want her to play with toys, and I wish she would have the imagination to play with them like the kids do in this movie. And generally, it's a great time to see the gang back together. Excellent voice cast. And for the new ones, especially Conan O'Brien as Smarty Pants, and the most unhinged as he's been in a cartoon in a long time.
I am not a champ! I am a potty trainer! Show some respect!
I really like how they shift the focus to Jessie being the main character and the protagonist of this movie. It makes sense for her to have closure. Really didn't get that storyline since Toy Story 2. And I'm glad we got more of that Emily story, her person, her child. My big criticism was the focus on her taking away from the veteran ensemble characters. I really wish they had more of like a B or C plot with some of our favorite characters. You know, they didn't get to do much at all. They have a line here or two. They're very much in the background, even in a box at some points. I love Tom Hanks and I love Woody, but this was a very forced, contrived way to bring him into the story. I wish they would just let him roam the wild yonder instead of coming back here and being just another character to have to facilitate. Lily Pad is the newest character that gets the most to chew on, and her mix of being a friend as well as an enemy to the toys worked well, and eventually some character development there that changes throughout. I think it's definitely worth a rewatch too, to get some of the nuances about some of those performances and what these new characters and all the characters are feeling. I do wish it was funnier. I think that Conan really brings a lot to that, but besides him, there's not a lot of comedy. I also thought the B plot with multitudes of Buzz Lightyears on a mission was cool to see how they interacted, but we've got some of that before, and it kind of took a while to dovetail into the main plot line. I still loved it. Looking forward to a rewatch. It's also my pick for awesome franchise entry of the month. Rated amazing. Hey Cinemaniacs, awesomely creative movie of the month goes to Masters of the Universe.
Skeletor took my family and he destroyed our world. I'm gonna fight for it.
There's so much to take in here on a fantastical level. From the vehicles, to the buildings, to the thrones. Some made it entirely out of bones, like with Skeletor's. Not a huge He-Man fan, but I was looking forward to this because of its Guardians of the Galaxy aesthetics. I wanted to learn more about the world. I also love crazy creatures and aliens and monsters. A lot of these have these simple naming devices, and they do have an in-universe reason for explaining that. So that's not creative, the naming of the actual characters, but there are, you know, Moss Man and Beast Man and He-Man, of course, but also one that has a bunch of spikes coming out. One looks like the devil. You know, Skeletor himself is pretty creative. They have a bigger green tiger. Mechanic, who's like moving his neck around and smashing people around. It just has a lot of great production design and character design and flying vehicles. Just a lot of cool, weird alien sci-fi stuff. Mixing the action fantasy with some comedy, that'd be a really good mix. It is a good time, but I thought the jokes mostly didn't land at all. I thought they kind of tried too hard for the jokes, too many quips, and they weren't funny enough.
It is quite heavy, so if you could just...
Oh my god, yeah.
Skeletor is definitely one of the highlights of this movie. I think he's a really cool villain. He's menacing when he needs to be. He's scary. He's really funny. He's got a dark humor. A lot of the comedy that actually works in this movie is thanks to Skeletor.
I am the villain. Does it feel good?
And of course, that's thanks to Jared Leto. So much so that he's the awesome actor of the month. One of my favorite actors. I don't care about cancel culture. Performance-wise, he always brings it. Sometimes it's a little too intense. He even spurted some blood on his face. He was on stage. He had the muscle suit. He had the hood. He just had the CGI skull put in later on. Voice is his. I mean, you can't even tell. It's got this Shakespearean role to it. It's got so much bravado. I want to hear more of Skeletor, honestly. I hope we get a sequel with him. Even the haters out there, there's a lot of them for Jared Leto, are saying that this movie would not be nearly the same without Skeletor. There's a lot to really delve into, especially some that the fans know about that didn't even make it into this movie. Hopefully we'll get that sequel, but it didn't do very well at the box office. Rated excellent. Hey Cinemaniacs! Plenty of disappointments this month, but no actual awful movies to award. The awfully disappointing movies of the month, I have nominations for that.
This is the story of two realms, the world of existence and the world of terrors.
I Am Frank Helda is a stop-motion movie. It's almost 2 hours long. It's the first one from Mexico. It's an accomplishment in that way. And I like some of the story aspects of it. But I also thought it was a little bit like too much. There's too many layers going on. It's too busy in every frame. It's a dark fairy tale. I watched it with my 5-year-old daughter and actually scared her, so I don't recommend it for kids unless they're like above 7 or 8, I would say. A lot of scary imagery about going into a nightmarish land and dealing with all those creatures. But it was a memorable story and had some nice twists there. Generally a good time. Rated enjoyable. And actually the winner for awfully disappointing movie of the month unfortunately goes to Supergirl.
This does not look like this is gonna end well for you guys.
I'm a huge fan of DC and Marvel. I love James Gunn, and he didn't direct it. Craig Gillespie did, but it's very much in the same vein of a James Gunn movie. I think Millie Alcock does a great job as Supergirl, kind of like, oh, too cool for school and reluctant hero and learning, you know, how to be a better person or a superhero. But I don't need her to like coach or mentor someone as much. That's a trope I don't enjoy, and so it was like hitting me over the head with that in this movie. Also, I thought Jason Momoa as Lobo was cool, but not really there enough to really have an impact, and also kind of superfluous to the plot. They're also going to a lot of different planets and all kind of looking the same. It is looking a lot like the Ravagers that they're fighting a lot of times from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But wasn't as fun, or the action wasn't as good as those movies, or as funny. Good enough to watch again. Second movie of DCU, though, needed to have a little bit of a stronger footing to get people on board with a whole new rendition, so it's not just like a DCEU movie again. There's a lot of big needle drops, maybe too much, especially one that people are just throwing themselves off buildings to say that's the worst needle drop in the world. I don't agree with that. It also, unfortunately, butchered a lot of the excellence and the colors that were inherent in the actual source material, which was the comic book. I haven't read that yet, but I heard some podcasts about it and explaining the differences. And yeah, it sounds like they really misinterpreted the point of that. Rated enjoyable. And let me know what you thought about all these. Thanks for watching. Now go forth and be awesome.
Aren't you the ditz from that dive bar?
Funny. That's what I've been calling you.
Touche.